Hello everyone and welcome back to Half Magic Tarot. Today's pick a card reading is How Will Your Soulmate Treat You? There are 4 piles to choose from and I suggest selecting your pile based on the pile marker that sparks a memory in you. So for example, I would choose pile 3. That is the one that just has a tree. Not a tree and a person, just a tree. And the reason why I would choose that one is because on the tree there is a yin-yang symbol carved into it, and it reminds me of when I was in high school and my mom had these dangly yin-yang earrings, and I would always steal them out of her jewelry box and wear them every day, and we would fight over them because I thought they were so cute. So I will put the timestamps in the description down below, so feel free to pause the video to select your pile now, and let's get started. If you selected pile 1, welcome to your reading. Let's figure out how your soulmate will treat you. We're starting off your spread with the moon in reverse, and this is saying to me that this is not someone that you have to second guess with. If you're someone who has been maybe in a lot of relationships, romantic situationships where you weren't always sure how the person felt about you, or you felt like they were giving you mixed signals, this person stands out in stark contrast to that. And maybe that's one of the ways that you really identify this person, is how sure you are of how they feel about you. This person doesn't leave anything to the imagination. They're like, I want you. Here's how I'm going to prove that I want you, because they're not just talk, they're action. And you really don't leave a date with them or hanging out with them, spending time with them thinking, does this person actually like me? This person is very, very clear about their intentions, and they are a very good communicator. They can be very direct. They're very blunt about, how much they like you. And so this is definitely someone who is very reassuring verbally. This person will tell you over and over again how much they like you, how much they love you, how much they care about you. And they also do show it through their actions. With this 8 of Pentacles here, this is someone who really finds the magic in the mundane. And when it comes to romantic relationships, I see that as someone who is really in it for the long haul. This person is not just in love with the idea of love. This person really sees love as a verb. It's an active thing that you do. It's a choice you make every day. And so even though, being in love isn't always grand gestures and going on these whirlwind adventures, they find a lot of joy in the day-to-day process of maintaining a relationship with you. So this is someone that you have fun with, even when all you've done today is go to work and you come home and you see each other and you sit on the couch and you watch an episode of your favorite TV show and you order takeaway. There's really there's a simplicity to this, but a real love of the simplicity with you. And again, this is probably really in contrast with people that you've dated in the past. I'm getting, as an example, if you've seen the movie Nora, which you should see if you haven't seen it. I really enjoyed it. And this isn't really spoilers because this is kind of initial premise of the movie. Nora, the character, basically meets this guy and they get married within 2 weeks of knowing each other. Very kind of whirlwind romance. And he does all these grand gestures, they fly out to Vegas and he buys her very expensive things, and they party all the time. It's a very fun environment, but when it comes to actually having to deal with kind of the real world and responsibilities, he's very flaky. He's not interested in that. He really just wanted the story, the whirlwind, the excitement. And he's not really interested in a domestic life. And Maybe that's, again, people that you've encountered in the past where maybe you had like a love bombing situation, or you had just a spark with someone that burned out just as quickly as it started. This person, your soulmate, is not like that. This person is so grounded. There's a lot of earth energy here, and in particular, this person could be a Virgo or have a prominent Virgo placement in their natal chart. So that would be their sun sign, moon sign, rising sign, or Venus. But they really are very like service oriented, and they do see love as an act that they commit to every day. And they really do see like your relationship as something that they have to continuously work on, continuously build, but they enjoy the process of it. That's what the Eight of Pentacles is all about, is enjoying the work that you do. Even if it's, a lot, even if it's difficult sometimes, this is enjoying the act of, creation, enjoying the journey, and not thinking that there has to be some grand like end goal. This person is okay with the process of continuing to be with you and putting an effort into the relationship. With the Four of Pentacles in the middle of your spread, I'm also getting that this person is very protective of you. And I'm getting a message here that for a lot of you, you may have trouble standing up for yourself in general. You might have experienced a lot of like frenemy situations or backstabbing when it comes to former friends or coworkers or something like that. And this person does feel like they really want to protect you from those forces that are trying to basically dim your light or take advantage of you. And, this person, really, your soulmate, is quick to like encourage you to stand up for yourself. If you tell them a story, like you come home from work and you're like, oh, I had the worst day, this person said this to me, they would be the first person to be like, that's unacceptable. Next time you see them, you have to blah, 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 blah. And, if they ever meet that person at like a work event or something, they would kind of give them the cold shoulder, because they feel like you deserve the best, and they do not like the idea of anyone treating you poorly, most definitely. And I think because they are so protective, sometimes they can be like almost paternal, not in a patronizing way, but more like this person can be like, okay, did you drink your water today? When was the last time you had a snack? Or you need to go to bed right now, because if you keep staying up and scrolling on your phone, you're going to be too tired for work tomorrow. This person really shows their love to you by making sure that you are kind of like optimizing your life and doing what's in your best interest, like physically, spiritually, emotionally. With the Witch of Pentacles or the Knight of Pentacles next in your spread, as I said, this person has very earth energy, and because of that, they're very patient and they're hardworking. They might place a big emphasis on financial stability, so they could be really into their work, but their reasoning for that is that they want to have like a good enough job or enough money to like spoil you. This person probably really enjoys giving gifts, and this person is very patient with you, especially if you are someone who has kind of experienced like situationships, or you have trust issues from your past relationships, or maybe you were love bombed and then abandoned. This person really like kind of hold your hand as like, I'm always going to be here. Like, I'm here for you. I'm here for you in the good times. I'm here for you in the bad times. And they really are very encouraging when it comes to your own personal growth, like your mental and emotional growth. And they're not rushing you. They want you to take your time and come to your own conclusions, but they also really see themselves as like a rock with which you can support yourself. And this is all encapsulated in the last card in the spread here, this Wheel of Fortune card. So you think of a wheel, it goes up and down, right? This is basically the person saying, I'm here for you in the great times and I'm here for you in the bad times. And, going through difficult things with them makes them better. You're back on top because you have them continuing to move you forward. They give you momentum and you feel like you grow a lot from being with this person. They're very encouraging. They really like help you to be more brave and standing up for yourself. And they teach you a lot about like sticking to your morals and sticking to your guns, even in the face of adversity or people telling you that they don't agree with you. And I think because you meet this person, you do have like a lot more lucky moments in your life. Like, you know how they say when you get into a relationship, then everybody starts like hitting on you. It's like, where were these people when I was single? But it's because you are emitting this energy of being like very receptive and open to love and like romantic, you know? So I think being with this person, you feel much more confident in yourself because this person is very supportive and does encourage your growth, your self-development, your ideas. And because of that, I think the universe is kind of rewarding you with more opportunity because like attracts like. You're more confident, you have a lot more things that imbue that confidence coming towards you. Now, on the back of the pile marker that you selected, it says, "Look deep within your heart and you will feel my love. My love for you is as deep as the ocean." And to me, that really goes with that moon in reverse. This is a card about clarity. You don't have to second guess how this person loves you, how much they like you, because they let it known. You can feel their love for you. You feel like you could swim in it every day, and that's really beautiful. For your Romance Angels Oracle card, we got love yourself first. Your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. And to me, this goes with that protectiveness that I talked about. I think this person really loves you, and being loved by someone is really great, but I think their love for you and their appreciation of you and their support of you makes you really have more self-respect and have more confidence in yourself. Like, you become more independent, more sure of who you are and what skills you have, what gifts you have to give to the world, because it is being reflected back to you through this person. And finally, for your Island Time Wellness Love Oracle card, we got seduction. This says attraction, flirting, dating, hooking up, temptation, and third-party interference. So don't get scared from the third-party interference. I don't really think this applies to that pile, but I do think the seduction does. So, this person, like I said, they really care about you, there's a lot of like very acts of service energy here, but it's not all, so strictly chivalrous. There is seduction here. There is like lust. There is, a very strong physical attraction between you and this person. And that is going to be just another kind of cherry on top of the component of how they treat you, is that you feel like not only does this person treat me amazingly and they're so protective of me and they encourage me and they're not holding me back at all, but also like we are really attracted to each other, which is hot. So congratulations to you, my pile ones. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I'll talk to you again soon. Take care. If you selected pile 2, welcome to your reading. Let's figure out how your soulmate will treat you. So we're starting off your spread with this Crone of Wands or King of Wands. And what I'm getting is that your soulmate is very much a golden retriever energy. This is someone who's very excitable. They really like going on new adventures. They love trying new things, and they get excited over the little things. I think this is someone who will really enjoy traveling with you, especially going on trips, doing physical activities like maybe if you are someone who is interested in exercise, maybe you go to the gym together. Maybe if you really love nature, you go hiking together, you go to the beach together, you go on walks together. But generally, this person can be very like flamboyant about the way that they appreciate you. So first of all, they really see you as their partner in crime. They want to take you on an adventure that they go on. And so people might even comment like, you two are joined at the hip. You're always doing things together. This is a person that you take to do errands, but also to do all the fun things in your life. And this person really just wants to experience all of the little exciting things that come with living life and growing and trying new things with you. Again, this person really is into like diversity of experience. So they love to try new things. They love to go to a new restaurant. They love to explore a new area of your town that you've never been to. They love to try a new activity. And so that is something that they will want to do with you. They really value quality time with you and having these new experiences together. Now, this was a really interesting pile because as you can see in the middle of your spread, we have these 3 queens. And what I'm really getting from it is that these are like 3 different facets of your personality. And I think before you come into union with your soulmate, having all of these diverse interests have been difficult for the people that you have previously been in romantic relationships with to accept. So what do I mean by that? Maybe, with the Queen of Swords, you're someone that can be very intelligent and you can really set aside your emotions and think very practically. And, you might have dated someone in the past that didn't like how smart you were, or maybe they felt like you were being too practical and you weren't taking a leap of faith with them. Or maybe they resented your education level. They felt like you were better than them, and because of that, they put you down. Or with this Queen of Pentacles, you can be someone that's very career-oriented, or you can be very much like a homebody. You can be a caregiver of some kind. You could have children, and maybe someone that you dated in the past really liked how smart you were, and they liked that you were educated, but they didn't like that you also were really cared about money or finances, or they didn't like that you were also a parent and so you had children to take care of. And so it felt like there was a fundamental incompatibility because they saw you as maybe this like scholar or this intellectual when you are that, but you're also someone who is a caregiver and does have these responsibilities and feels like you have a need to take care of other people or other things in your life, and they didn't like that. And then with the Queen of Wands, I think this is that other side of you of someone who is really confident, who enjoys having fun, life of the party, maybe has active hobbies like dancing, very creative, very fashionable. You could be someone who's really into fashion. And so maybe like you meet someone and they really see you as being very fashionable and creative. And so they think, oh, this person is like a baddie, or they're an artist, or, they're like a manic pixie dream girl. Not that you have to be a girl, but that's like the vibe. And they just see you as this thing. And when they find out, oh, actually this person is very like intellectual, they have a lot of mental depth, or they have a real soft spot, they have other things that they care about. It kind of shatters the illusion of what you were supposed to be to that person. And I think it has made previous partners resent you or feel like you're not the person that they initially thought you were, because you contain so many multitudes. But your soulmate is not put off by this. Your soulmate really encourages you to be everything that you need to be, even if it seems to be like a contradiction to other people. they really appreciate all of these different facets of your personality, your life, your activities, your hobbies, whatever it is, and they encourage all of it, and they think it's awesome, and they don't think less of you, or they don't feel intimidated by how cultured you are, how well read you are, how interesting you are, and just another example of that is, if you've ever seen the movie Booksmart, there is this scene where this girl who's maybe like very valedictorian coded, like very, very smart, only cares about her studies, has never really gone out and party, doesn't really hang out with her peers. She finds out that her peers who were popular in school and who did care about, dating and partying and making friends and having fun, also got into great colleges just like she did. Like they got to have both experiences, and she had kind of thought that it was a binary, that you either have fun or you really succeed, like academically, and it didn't occur to her that you can do both. And that's kind of like a juvenile example, but I think that's a vibe, right? Like I think that's a vibe for you, that you are someone who probably has like really rigorous academic interests. You probably do have like a lot of education. You are someone who maybe has a job or owns a business, or you take care of your family members or your children. You really put a lot of effort into maintaining your friendships even. And then you're also someone who really prioritizes fun and new experiences. And I think that's what initially draws your soulmate to you, is kind of this Queen of Wands energy that you are in. Queen of Wands is someone who really attracts people's eyes and can be the life of the party. So you might even meet this person like in a party situation, or just somewhere where you can really turn on that charm and have fun. And then they see these other sides of you as they get to know you more, and it doesn't put them off. It doesn't make them think, oh, this person's like way more serious or way smarter or way more responsible than I thought. They like this part of you. They like that you can switch between these modes of being, and to other people, again, it may seem, confusing to them, because people tend to pigeonhole you into being like one kind of person, and they're surprised by how diverse you are. So again, I think your soulmate is someone who does have this golden retriever energy, who is really interested in having fun, new experiences with you, and who really allows you to express all of these different aspects of yourself. This is not someone who is interested in dimming your flame in any way. This is a very supportive person. And with the Five of Wands at the end of your spread here, this is them. I think they're really good at banter with you specifically, and that's probably very seductive to you, because you do have this Queen of Swords and Queen of Wands energy. Queen of Swords is very witty, very intellectual, as I keep saying, and Queen of Wands can be very funny. So I think you and this person, there's a lot of like back and forth banter, which I love. That's like the quickest way to my heart, is kind of coming up with like quick comebacks. Think of like, this would be, if you've ever seen Gilmore Girls, this is like Lorelai and Luke. Not necessarily like ribbing each other, but just the ability to kind of quickly like talk back to each other, which is very cute. And with the Five of Wands, I think because you are such a well-rounded person, you do have a lot of people that are interested in you. And a lot of people are interested in like just the side of you that they have seen. They don't even know about all these other amazing things about you. And I think because of that, your soulmate is aware that, there are people that want to be with you, that want to be with you romantically, that want to steal you away from your soulmate. And so I think this person can be a little bit jealous at times, but So they're the type of person who probably does end up expressing their jealousy. Like if you go out and someone's kind of like lingering around you too long, or someone compliments you too much, they probably come up like beside you and wrap their arm around you or hold your hand or something, or introduce themselves as your partner. So yeah, this person can be pretty jealous, but lots of good banter. And I think that they generally, because they think so highly of you, it's really important to them to try to keep up with you. So this is not someone who's going to be stagnant. I think they inspire you to feel comfortable, like expressing all these different sides of yourself and not feeling like you have to make yourself smaller to make other people more comfortable. And you, in turn, encourage them to be the fullest version of themselves and like to continuously better themselves. So this is a very reciprocal, symbiotic relationship that you will have with your soulmate. And that is reflected on the back of the pile marker that you suggested, which says, "Give thanks for the blessings of love soon to come your way. Know that you deserve to be and have all that your heart truly desires." So for some of you, if you have not met this person, you've not come into union, this is a message that soon this person will be coming your way and you will come into union, or you will meet your soulmate. But I think the real like important message here is know that you deserve to be and have all that your heart truly desires. So again, like I said, I think in the past, your suitors, people that you've had romantic relationships with, have really tried to make you feel small or make you feel like you're not allowed to do or be all of the things that you want to be. And your soulmate really encourages all of this from you. And not only that, but they love all of this about you. They love that you contain so many multitudes and they never know like what they're going to get day to day or what you're going to be interested in tomorrow. That really excites them, and it's one of the reasons why they're really drawn to you. For your Romance Angels Oracle card, we got Past Life Relationship, which says you have known each other before. And to me, this is really speaking to this person's acceptance of you. Your soulmate is so accepting of you because they just understand you. They feel like they know you. They feel like they are really connected to you. And so there's not, they say the right person will stay. There's nothing that you can do or be or say that is authentic to yourself that will scare the correct person away. And I think this is a message just affirming that, yeah, you can be exactly who you are and do what you want to do and chase after all your different interests. And this person is still going to really love that about you. This is not something that is going to intimidate them or make them feel lesser than you or make them feel embarrassed. This is something that they will actively encourage. Now, for your Island Time Wellness Love Oracle card, we got Keys on a Ring. This says many options, decision, unconventional, string along, and one night stand. So don't get scared from the one night stand and string along. I really think this Keys on a Ring is kind of a reference to them being so accepting of all your different interests and your personalities. Because even if you look at the imagery on here, there's 3 keys. We have the 3 queens in the spread. So to me, again, this is a reiteration of just their acceptance of you. If you think of like a ring, you can do like a literal wedding ring. So they see you as being, the key to their heart, and they want to put a ring around it, basically. They like that you, they're like, they might even joke like, oh, it's like having 3 partners because you're like this one day and you're like this one day and you're like this one day, but I like all of them. You could even be someone who like switches up your appearance a lot. Like maybe you wear wigs or you do like really creative makeup, or you, dress really like flamboyantly, and they really like that. But they like how unconventional you are. They like that you cannot be fit squarely into one box. They like that you have so much diversity in your person. And again, this is really just, if I could sum up this pile in one word, it's acceptance. This person just accepts you. That's how they love you. They show their love by accepting you and encouraging you to be yourself and not making you feel like you need to be less in order to be palatable, which is really awesome because I think sometimes that's rare, especially if you are someone who does have so much going on for you. So that's beautiful for you, my pile twos. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I'll talk to you again soon. Take care. If you selected pile 3, welcome to your reading. Let's figure out how your soulmate will treat you. We're starting off your spread with the Death card. And this is really interesting to me. Don't be scared by the Death card because death is really a card about transformation. And in this particular instance, I'm really getting that for the people in this pile, you've been put through the ringer when it comes to love. Maybe you have been single for a very long time. Maybe you had a series of very toxic relationships. Maybe you've experienced unrequited love. Maybe it's a combination of all three. But with the Death card here, like I said, this is transformation. And to me, this is a very positive transformation in your love life, but it's a very big one. I think for most of you, you have kind of like given up on love, or you kind of given up on the possibility of like meeting a soulmate. You've really like maybe accepted the idea of being alone or being single, or at least you're not actively really like optimistic about the possibility of you finding your quote unquote person. And that's also reflected in the next card here, this 10 of Wands, which is a card that's about like feeling burdened, feeling like I've tried so hard. I feel like I've had to carry the weight of all of this by myself. Probably in a lot of your past relationships, you feel like you've done all the emotional labor and you never quite like get anything in return. And so you have just given up. You're like, what's the point? This is nothing but a struggle bus, you know? But like I said, this is transformation. So I really see your soulmate transforming your view on love and relationships and opening up to other people. You really become a lot more optimistic. And also with the 10 of Wands, I do see them as being someone who would like go to the ends of the earth to make you happy. Traditionally, like in the Rider-Waite-Smith Tarot deck, the 10 of Wands is depicted by a person who is carrying these 3 large sticks, and they're kind of like hunched over, Hunchback of Notre Dame style, and they are climbing uphill. It's an uphill battle. There's no one helping them. They're carrying this huge heavy thing by themselves. And to me, this really represents like in this particular reading that, again, your soulmate would go to the ends of the world to make you happy, to be able to reach you. Like, I really feel like once they meet you, because you have been put through the ringer for love, you're probably a little resistant to like dating or really opening up to this person, but they have a lot of patience and they really try hard to like break through your emotional barriers and tear down those walls. And I think they do get there because you really admire their persistence. I think you've never had someone really like put this much effort into being in a relationship with you, maintaining the relationship with you. And you really like that. This person is also coming through as the Enchantress, which is the Magician. So this is someone who just makes things happen for you. Like if you were walking by a shop window and you looked at, I don't know, an outfit that's on the mannequin inside and you said, oh, I really like that. This is the kind of person who would make a note of that and then go back like 3 hours later and buy you whatever you wanted. And it doesn't just have to be monetary. This is just someone who really makes it their mission to make you happy and show you how much they are absorbing about you. And so with the Magician in particular, you can see on this card, there's a rose, there's a pentacle, there's a sword, and there's a cup. So this represents the 4 suits of tarot, and it's a message about this person having like all of the tools basically to make things happen for you. And in this case, I think to make you happy, like in a romantic situation. So the rose is the one. This is the excitement, the passion, the energy. So this person can be very romantic. They like to surprise you. There's probably a lot of physical attraction between you and this person. So you could have like a very active life in the bedroom. And then with the pentacle, this is stability, practicality, and can be literal money. So probably this person likes to give you very thoughtful gifts. This person really is good at making plans. This is not going to be someone where, you know, they message you and they're like, hey, we should go out sometime. And you're like, yeah, and then they never follow up. This is someone who'd be like, hey, would you be interested in going to this restaurant with me at 7 p.m. on Friday? And then you say yes, and then they make the reservation, and then you go. Like, this person is very clear and direct with their plans, and they really make it their mission to show you that they are interested in investing in you. They are investing time in you, and they are taking responsibility for like growing the seed of this relationship. And with the sword, that represents air and swords, and this is all about like mental stimulation, communication. This person's very honest. They're truthful with you. You feel like you can trust what they say. They know exactly what to say to you in times of need. They're very smart. They stimulate you intellectually. You feel like you have good conversation with them. And then with the cups, this is really that emotional availability, the romance, the creativity, the softness that you've craved. You know, you feel like you've missed all of this from your previous partners because, again, you weren't getting anything for all of the effort that you were put in. And now this person's going to come in and they just check off all these boxes. And it's like, oh, this is an actual partner. This is not someone that I am like trying to get like them to show that they like me. This is someone who makes the effort every day to show me that they like me, and they have all these personality traits I love. I can't believe this person was out there just waiting for me. And with the Hierophant or Hierophant, this is like traditionally this card is depicted by like the Pope. And so if you think of the Pope, if you think of Catholicism or any like Abrahamic religion, really, religion has a lot of faith, and it's something that typically lasts like forever. Like, it's been around for centuries. People still believe, and there's no like empirical evidence necessarily. I mean, all of these are really faith-based, and so I think this is saying that you really have faith in this person. You feel comfortable having faith in this person. And this person's also loyal. They're unwavering. You're not concerned that they are just going to ghost you one day or break up with you out of nowhere. This is someone who really makes it clear through their day-to-day actions that they have long-term interest in you and they want to build with you and grow with you. And so you're not like at home second guessing, does this person really like me? Or do they want to be with me? Or what are we? Are we actually in a relationship? No. This person makes it clear with you because, again, this is like your dream person. This person is checking off all of those boxes. And I also like in these cards with the Enchantress and the Hierophant, these are very similar in terms of illustration, and they're kind of looking toward each other. Their body language is facing toward each other. And so I see this as kind of more confirmation that you and this person are really divinely connected. You're a divine couple. You're supposed to be together. There is this mirroring of each other. So probably your soulmate is someone who has also been through the ringer in love, and maybe they've also been giving up, and then they meet you and they're like, oh, I know. I'm so happy that all of those heartbreaks in the past led me to you. They definitely have like a very optimistic outlook, and I think that really rubs off on you, especially with this Five of Cups at the end of the spread here. The Five of Cups is usually a card about grief. It's a card about crying over something that you've lost. In the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith tarot deck, the Five of Cups is depicted by someone who has spilled whatever was in their 3 cups on the ground, and they have 2 cups behind them, but they're not looking at those 2 cups behind them because they're too busy crying over the 3 cups that they've spilled. And, it's okay to cry. It's okay to be upset about losing something, but the kind of hidden optimism of the Five of Cups is that once you get past the grief, there's still more to be waiting for you. There's still more to be happy about. There's still more to enjoy. And I think this is the attitude that this person has, and it really rubs off on you, both in romance, because you feel like, I'm glad that I maybe had learned those hard lessons because they led me to this person. You become a lot more optimistic about your love life through meeting this person, but also just life in general, because this person, is very optimistic. They believe that rejection is just divine redirection. So, for example, let's say that you applied for a job and you thought the job was so cool. You wanted it so bad and you didn't end up getting it. You got this other job that you applied for, but at the other job you applied for, you end up really loving it, or you meet someone who becomes your best friend, and you wouldn't have had that if you didn't initially face that rejection or face that disappointment. And so this person really believes what is meant for them will come to them, and I think that rubs off on you, definitely. I read this essay a very long time ago. It's by Leslie Jamison. I can't remember the exact title, but she talks about how she has a friend who had this recurring dream that she was in a car and the car crashes into a tree, and when the hood crumples up from the crash, pollen sprays out of the hood and just flies everywhere. And she kept having this recurring dream. She didn't know what it meant. And the person that she was speaking to kept trying to push her to just say, okay, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? What does it make you think it is? And she blurts out, my wounds are fertile. The thing that was wrecked, the thing that was crumpled, the thing that is destroyed is also what is sending out this life-giving force, this, new growth. And I think that is just the attitude of your soulmate to a T. And so again, this person makes you feel a lot more optimistic about love especially, but about life in general. I think this person just transforms the way you move through the world. You feel so held by this person. You feel so loved. This person, like I said, is just there for you in all the ways that are important. And they really try. They try so hard for you. They want to make your life easier, more fun, more stimulating, more relaxing, more loving. And so they try to offer all of that to you through their actions every day. And that's really beautiful. So for your pile marker, on the back of it, it says manifesting miracles. Your dream is soon to become reality. Trust your heart and continue to follow its guidance. So to me, this is a message that if you have been wanting love, but feeling it's almost an impossibility, the chance of me finding this person that I'm looking for is lower than being struck by lightning, then this is saying that miracle is going to happen to you though. Actually, this will happen. This person's coming. And I think this is also a message from your soulmate regarding their outlook. They think, as long as you follow your heart, you continue to follow your path and lead with your heart, lead with love, you will end up where you're supposed to be. Because again, this person does have a lot of optimism. And that rubs off on you. Like, it makes you happy that you're not with, I just heard maybe some of you have dated people that were like very Eeyore-ish in the past. Like, maybe you've been with someone who, they just complain about everything, or every time you accomplish something, they're like, oh, I wish that were me. This person's the opposite of that. This person is like, I love that for you. They're very optimistic. If something bad happens to them, they just think about, how they can turn it into a positive, or what's the next step they can take to move forward. They're not, using it as an excuse to like back out of life or make you manage their life for them. That's a select message for a few of you. Okay. So for your Romance Angels Oracle card, we got Flirt, which says, extend your lighthearted energy to others. So again, this person's very lighthearted, very optimistic, very flirtatious with you. And, this person, especially if you're someone who's like very type A, this person just brings out kind of like the childlike nature of you. They really bring out your inner child and make you feel so excited and fun and giggly and bubbly. And for your Island Time Wellness Love Oracle card, we got Kisses, which says unconditionally loving, giving and receiving affection, and falling in love. So again, this person probably really loves to give you kisses. They might be a very like physical touch oriented person. But I think the real important message here is that giving and receiving affection. So this is not you just like begging someone to love you or wondering how this person feels. This person shows you all the time through their actions how much affection they have for you, and they really love you, and they try to show that to you in all the different ways that they can. This is like a very simple pile, but very like sunny. It feels sunny. It feels like walking outside and having the sun shine on your skin. Simple, but it feels amazing. You really feel held and caressed by this person. And it's something that you didn't think would happen. It really feels miraculous to have someone like this come into your life, which is amazing. So congratulations to you, my pile threes. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I'll talk to you again soon. Take care. If you selected pile 4, welcome to your reading. Let's figure out how your soulmate will treat you. We're starting off the spread with the 9 of Wands. And the 9 of Wands, to me, in this context, really represents that your soulmate is someone who is a very healing presence in your life. This is someone who goes out of their way to make sure that you feel comfortable, you feel safe, you feel like you have the freedom to express yourself. And I think that this is really important within your relationship dynamic, because with the 7 of Wands here, it does feel like you are someone who has really experienced like a lot of haters. And this could be your family, I'm getting. Like, maybe you grew up in a very restrictive household, or with abusive parents, with negligent parents, with narcissistic parents, or maybe that's something that you've experienced a lot in your past romantic relationships. But there's this feeling here with the 7 of Wands of, like you being yourself, you existing authentically, living the way that you want to live, has always attracted a lot of criticism from the people around you. And so your soulmate really stands in stark contrast to that, where they are kind of there to like heal those wounds, to make you feel safe and like you can be loved for who you are, for how you choose to exist. And you don't have to minimize yourself or compromise in any way. And I think that's also reflected in the middle card in the spread here, which is the Void. This is equivalent to the Fool. So I think this person, your soulmate, they could be an Aquarius or have a prominent Aquarius placement in their natal chart. That would be their sun sign, moon sign, rising sign, or Venus sign. But they have very strong Aquarian energy to me. So if you know anything about Aquariuses, they tend to be kind of known as like the alien like sign of the zodiac. There's a real emphasis on uniqueness, individuality, not being afraid to be different, maybe from what the norm is. So your soulmate could be someone who dresses very alternatively, like maybe they stick out, especially if you're from an area that's very like homogenous. Like if you live in a small town and everyone dresses exactly the same and they all have the same beliefs, this is a person who's different and they really stand out and people notice them because of that and maybe deride them because of that. But this person has the confidence to be themselves. They really have faith in like their own beliefs, and because they feel so strongly about the things that they believe in, they're not really wavering. Like someone not supporting them or not liking them will not make them change their mind. And a specific example of that is, let's say, like politics, okay? So if you are someone who is in a very small town, and typically in a small town, people tend to be like politically conservative. And maybe this person, they're like, well, I actually support all of these progressive causes. And probably a lot of people around them will tell them that they're wrong, they're uninformed, they're morally incorrect. But because this person feels so strongly about the things that they believe, the other people's criticism does not make them second guess themselves. They don't need approval in order to live in a way that they feel like is morally correct or authentic to who they are. And I think that's really important for you also, because as I said, I do really feel like the people who selected this pile are people who have been told a lot by the people around them, by the people that they've dated, that they're too much. And so the way that your soulmate loves you is by really showing you that it is safe to be yourself or be different around them. They are not expecting you to conform for the sake of making other people comfortable. And with the Fool also here, I'm getting that you could be like in part of the LGBT community. So this could be like a queer relationship that you have with your soulmate. And maybe that's one of the things that you receive pushback from. Maybe you have like homophobic family members, or you live in like a very conservative area, like I said, and people kind of push back against that. But this person really loves you openly and encourages you to lead with your heart and not with fear of being judged. Again, that's just a message for some of you. You don't have to be part of the LGBT community, but I do think that was an important note that was coming through. Another thing that I'm getting is that you could physically move with this person. There's a lot of feelings of like escape here. So I think one of the ways that you and your soulmate really grow your love together is through escapism. So for a lot of you, you do literally like physically move somewhere else. You're moving away from this area where all these people that maybe have treated you poorly in the past, you're moving away from that. But this could also be symbolic, like you are kind of entering into a new life with this person where I think you feel like a much stronger sense of community because of your relationship with this person. First of all, you feel very close to them, but I think they also bring you into like their friend groups or their hobbies, and you meet like more like-minded people that way. And so fostering that sense of community is really important to the way that your soulmate expresses their love for you. And I'm also getting that you could end up like adopting a pet with this person specifically. So maybe this also goes into the kind of like non-conformity thing. Maybe you are someone who is not really interested in like the nuclear family. Like you maybe don't want to get married or you don't want to have children. And so you kind of end up like partnering with this person, and instead of having children, you decide to adopt an animal instead. And in particular, you could get a dog, is what I'm getting. So next we have the world here. And again, this is kind of a reiteration. I do think that probably your soulmate will really enjoy traveling with you, going to new countries, visiting new places. And with the world also, I think that they really allow you to shine. They support all of your accomplishments, and they really see you as someone who turns these adverse experiences, this pushback that you've received from other people, your family, your former friends, your peers, the people that you've dated before, and you've used it to become this person who has so much spiritual wisdom. You know, like they say, have you ever met someone where you can tell they've never really experienced like any hardship in their life? And because of that, they don't really have, like, if you've never gone down to the underworld, you don't have that layer of depth. And that's not really a diss to people who haven't experienced hardship, because that's ideal, right? To like not, to have had like a really great, smooth life and nothing like really terrible has happened to you. But I also think if you've never experienced like the deep darkness or the depths, then you don't have that perspective. You don't have the wisdom that comes from experiencing that. You know what I mean? And so I think this person, like because you've experienced these adverse, you've had these adverse experiences in the past, your soulmate is probably mirroring you in that way. They have also experienced those things. And so together, you really are able to use that woundedness as like a solve for other people who are maybe going through the same thing. Again, there's a really big emphasis on community here. I feel like you and your soulmate are meant to partner together to like help other people in some way. So again, for some of you, this is like LGBT community. You and your partner end up maybe like mentoring younger people in the LGBT community. Maybe you volunteer at shelters for like at-risk youth who were kicked out of their homes for being gay. But that's just a small example. It could even be something that's like, maybe like less sexuality oriented and more like you and your partner come together, and maybe your soulmate was homeless as a child, and together you make it your mission to really make sure that the youth in your community are not going without food. Maybe you both volunteer at a food bank. Maybe you make videos about how you came together and you overcame, the bad stuff that happened to you. So those are just some examples. I also heard like Fleetwood Mac, like Stevie Nicks and Lindsey Buckingham coming together, and even though they didn't end up together, they came together and they wrote these songs about their experiences, even when they were negative experiences with each other. And because of that, it really influenced a lot of other just casual listeners of music, singers. Like there's a massive impact from the work that they put out together. And so I think you and your soulmate are people that come together for like a higher purpose, to create something, to birth a new idea, to help other people. And in particular, I think it can be to help other people move through pushback from the people around them. And finally, with the 3 of Wands at the end of your spread here, again, I do see you traveling a lot with this person. I think your soulmate loves to surprise you with like a trip, even if it's just a weekend getaway. It doesn't have to be super long, but this person really shows their love by following through on their word. You know, when you are maybe dating someone and they're all talk and no follow through, like maybe they're like, oh, I've been thinking about getting you like a bouquet of flowers out of nowhere. And it's like, okay, well, that's great that you thought of that, but you didn't do it. This person does it. You know, they execute what they plan with you, and their follow through, I think, is really endearing to you, especially because, as I said, I think you have received a lot of pushback. And maybe one of those things that you've experienced in the past is that you've had people who kind of like dangled a carrot in front of you. Like, if you were more docile, if you were quieter, if you did this for me more, then I can be in a committed relationship with you. Then I can be nicer than you. Then I can, do whatever it is. So that's just an example. But I think, again, your soulmate kind of really is like this person who makes you feel so comfortable being yourself. And they encourage you to use the pain and discomfort that you've experienced in the past to help other people. And together you really become a driving force for like positive change in the world. And I do see them also taking you on a lot of trips, maybe flying you out, going on vacation, and they follow through on their word. When they say something, they mean it. If they say, let's go out to eat for Valentine's Day, this person has booked the reservation, which is really nice. And I think this is all reflected in the pile marker that you selected. So on the back of this card, it says healing. Imagine yourself and your beloved surrounded by light. Feel your relationship being healed this very moment. So to me, this really speaks to the healing power of your relationship. Like I said, I think the way that your soulmate expresses your love is by joining your love together and using it as a positive, like motivating force out in the world. So you are able to reflect the love, the acceptance that you have for each other, and use it to assist the world and make the world a better place, which is really wonderful. For your Romance Angels Oracle card, we got very soon, which says clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you now. So this is a message for some of you that this person is coming into your life very soon. Maybe you'll meet them shortly, like this year even. If I had to give like a time frame of when you could potentially meet this person, I would say probably closer toward the end of the year, like December, but that will only apply for a select few of you. And for your Island Time Wellness Love Oracle card, we got Boat, which says receiving what you need, progression, arriving, moving on, and closure issues. So again, I think for a lot of you, there is like literal traveling that you do with your soulmate. But really, if I could summarize this whole pile in one word, it would be healing or progression. So those can be like two sides of the same coin. I think this person, your soulmate shows you that they love you through the healing that you do together and through the progression. You progress through these hardships, you find ways to navigate it and use it as like your strength, something that you can put out into the world to help other people who have maybe been through the same thing. And I see you, again, maybe literally traveling. Maybe this person is really interested in like going on a cruise and they surprise you with tickets to a cruise for your birthday or something. But this is very like sweet, very accepting energy. So again, if you're someone who has felt like, unloved or unaccepted in your romantic relationships from family members, from friends or whatever, your soulmate really shows you the opposite of that. They show you how much they accept you for who you are. They don't try to change you or make you feel bad about living as yourself authentically. In fact, they see it as the greatest strength that you have for yourself and that you have together within your relationship, which is really cute. So congratulations to you, my Pile 4s. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I'll talk to you again soon. Take care.